Welcome to Tech Trouble, where colossal planes scream through the clouds, jet engines roar like thunder, and mid-air disasters strike without warning. Buckle up, because the sky is about to erupt into pure chaos, adrenaline, and jaw-dropping danger. This isn't just flying, it's survival at 10,000 feet. Let's dive into the action. Just when it looks like this jet is about to touch down, the pilot suddenly aborts the landing and powers back into the sky. Strong winds make the approach too risky, forcing a dramatic go-around that leaves viewers stunned. One wrong move and disaster strikes. A high-speed RC plane suddenly veers out of control, hurtling straight into a man with shocking force. At first, it looks like a calm flight, but in the blink of an eye, the paraglider's wing twists and collapses, sending the pilot plunging straight toward the ground in a terrifying freefall. As this giant aircraft roars down the runway, the sheer power rips up smoke and sparks beneath it. An explosive takeoff that looks more like a battle with the ground than a smooth climb. What began as a routine landing instantly spirals into chaos. A massive cargo jet slams onto the runway, skidding violently as smoke pours from its wheels. Within seconds, emergency crews rush into action, transforming the runway into a scene of pure panic and power. Panic erupts on the runway as a small plane suddenly surges forward. People sprint after it in desperation, but within seconds, the aircraft lifts shakily into the air, leaving chaos and disbelief trailing behind on the ground. Right after takeoff, a fighter jet spews fire from its engine, and within moments, a massive blast erupts on the ground below. The sky glows with flames, while smoke fills the air, turning a simple flight into a scene of complete destruction. This was a heart-stopping moment for me. How did it make you feel? Let me know in the comments. Traffic grinds to a halt as danger drops from the sky. A small aircraft sweeps shockingly low over the road, clearing cars by mere feet in a terrifying brush with disaster. The runway is short, the pressure is high, and disaster strikes fast. A small plane comes in shaky, veering off course before smashing sideways into the ground. It all happened in a split second. The pilot thought everything was under control until a piece of debris slammed into the cockpit. Imagine the heartbeat at that moment, because this wasn't just a crash risk, it was his life on the line. What begins as an ordinary landing erupts into chaos. A small plane skids violently off the runway, spinning out of control before bursting into flames. In seconds, the calm descent transforms into a fiery disaster that leaves the entire airfield stunned. In aviation, danger hides in every second. One moment, a smooth flight, the next, engines fail, wheels collapse, or storms throw giant jets off balance. These are the extreme, dangerous aviation moments that no one forgets, caught live on camera, raw and real. Once you see this, you'll never look at flying the same way again. Imagine standing on a quiet dirt road when suddenly, out of nowhere, a massive jet comes thundering just above your head. The ground shakes, the air blasts dust into your face, and for a split second, you feel like this giant machine is about to swallow you whole. The sky may look peaceful, but it hides dangers beyond imagination. A sudden storm can throw a jet sideways, turbulence can rip trays from the ceiling, and lightning can strike with no warning. Inside, passengers can do nothing but scream, while pilots fight a losing battle against nature's fury. These shocking aviation moments prove the sky doesn't forgive. Once it turns against you, there's no escape. No runway, just a dirt road, then out of nowhere a giant plane skims so low it nearly takes people's heads off. Seconds later, it loses control and crashes hard. Sparks ignite beneath the giant jet as its landing gear bursts into flames, glowing bright against the runway. Smoke pours from the wheels while the aircraft keeps rolling, engines still humming as if nothing's wrong. Behind the calm motion hides a clear warning, mechanical failure turning a routine taxi into a dangerous spectacle. It looks like a smooth landing until disaster strikes. Within seconds, the jet swerves violently, balance gone, skidding across the runway in a terrifying fight for control. What began as routine suddenly spirals into chaos. The jet hits the desert strip, but in seconds, balance is lost. The nose slams down, tearing the fuselage apart as a massive cloud of dust erupts. A landing turned into disaster. Oh my God, it's so terrifying. A peaceful beach day turns into pure chaos as a massive jet powers up, sandblasting everywhere, people diving for cover. This is the raw force of aviation, hitting harder than anyone expected. At 35,000 feet, there's no turning back. If an engine explodes, if fire spreads through the cabin, or if the landing gear refuses to open, everyone on board is trapped, thousands of feet above the ground. In that moment, survival depends on seconds, and fear takes over every heartbeat. These are the terrifying realities of aviation, caught on camera, where one mistake can end it all. Night sky suddenly transforms into a glowing spectacle. Hundreds of drones rise in perfect sync, lights blazing as they form the shape of a colossal airplane. For a moment, it feels like a real jet is soaring silently above the city, a breathtaking illusion of light and precision that leaves the crowd in awe. Skies erupt in fury as violent crosswinds slam into the airport. Small planes are tossed like toys, bouncing helplessly in the storm, while massive giants like Lufthansa Cargo battle just to stay upright. It's nature at its wildest, where raw weather chaos meets the razor edge of aviation survival. The sky may look calm, but in aviation, danger is always one heartbeat away. A sudden engine fire, a lightning strike, or a violent crosswind can turn a routine flight into pure chaos. These extreme aviation moments, caught on camera, prove why every takeoff and landing is a fight for survival. Upside down at thousands of feet, this pilot flips his plane mid-air and does the impossible. With the world inverted, he calmly pours Red Bull into a glass. No spills, no fear, just pure precision and unbelievable skill. A stunt so smooth, it turns chaos into perfection. This jet dives in dangerously close, skimming over the fence. One wrong move and it could have been disaster. Giant jets look unstoppable, yet even the smallest failure can bring them to their knees. A bird strike, a jammed landing gear, or a storm in the wrong moment, and the unimaginable happens. These shocking aviation moments, captured live, show just how fragile and dangerous the skies can be. High above the clouds, there is no pause button, no second chance. At 30,000 feet, even the smallest failure can turn deadly. An engine bursting into flames, landing gear snapping mid-air, or a storm tossing a giant jet like a toy. Once it begins, there's no escape. Every passenger trapped inside can do nothing but pray, while the pilots battle against time, machines, and the fury of nature. These aren't just flights, they're nightmares in the sky, caught on camera for the world to witness. Watch closely, because in aviation, fear is always just one heartbeat away.
That turbulence was insane.
What begins as a simple landing turns into instant chaos. A small plane veers off the runway, skids violently, then flips upside down before bursting into smoke. Sky turns deadly in an instant. A plane loses control and plunges fast, with no runway in sight. The ground races closer, and directly ahead lies only a busy highway. Cars scatter in panic as the aircraft scrapes down, sparks flying in a heart-stopping emergency landing on the road. A calm runway scene turns terrifying in seconds. Smoke and flames erupt from the aircraft, engulfing it in thick black clouds. Passengers scramble as chaos unfolds right on the tarmac.
Okay, now they got water going.
Oh my God, it's so terrifying. Runway shakes as the mighty Emirates A380 slams down, tires screeching with a burst of smoke. But instead of settling, the giant bounces back into the air. Too heavy, too fast, refusing to stay down. In an instant, the pilots power up for a dramatic go-around, forcing the massive bird back into the sky. The roar of the engine cuts through the air as a small plane lunges forward on a rough grass strip. But within seconds, the shaky climb spirals out of control. The aircraft veers wildly, plowing through bushes and debris. What should have been a smooth takeoff turns into pure chaos, a shocking reminder of how unforgiving rough runways can be. High above the earth, danger meets adrenaline. A skydiver climbs out onto the wing of a roaring Yak-52. Fierce winds whip at his body as he steadies himself, balancing step by step along the narrow surface. Then, with the world spinning below, he prepares for the leap, an insane fusion of aviation and skydiving that pushes the limits of fear and control. Airfield erupts in chaos as a military helicopter drops low, its massive rotors whipping dust and debris into a violent storm. The crowd shields their faces, phones held high to capture the spectacle as the chopper hovers menacingly just above the ground. Then, with raw authority, it surges upward, lifting into the sky with surgical precision, leaving behind a whirlwind of power, thrill, and awe. This isn't a scoop run. The aircraft is actually landing on the water. With a smooth touch, the amphibious plane glides across the lake surface, slowing down gracefully before coming to rest.
Ooh, that's not good.
A heart-stopping emergency unfolds high in the mountains when a small aircraft is forced to land on a road no wider than a runway stripe. With no landing gear deployed, the pilots scrape the plane directly against the asphalt, sparks flying as the propeller chews the surface. The aircraft swerves violently for a moment, nearly losing control, but the cockpit crew remain calm under crushing pressure. As this plane thundered forward for takeoff, everything seemed under control until fate twisted. In a heartbeat, it lost balance, flipped upside down, and slammed into the ground, turning a routine flight into a jaw-dropping spectacle. This was a heart-stopping moment for me. How did it make you feel? Let me know in the comments.
Oh no, he's doing it. No, there it goes. Oh, fantastic. Those poor people driving, they were trying to see anything.
Oh my God, it's so terrifying. The storm batters the runway as a Japan Airlines Boeing 767 dives in for landing, but the crosswinds are too brutal. At the last second, the pilots abort, engines roaring as the massive jet claws back into the sky. Moments later, it circles for another attempt, tension building with every second. Then, impact. The giant slams onto the tarmac, tires screaming as smoke blasts outward. What began as a failed landing turns into a breathtaking fight for control, a hard-won touchdown that leaves the crowd in awe. That's a wrap on the most insane, jaw-dropping aviation moments caught on camera. From planes fighting violent winds, narrowly avoiding disaster, to crashes that will leave you speechless, this footage proves just how extreme the skies can get. If your heart was racing even once during this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't miss out on the next level of aerial chaos. Subscribe to Tech Trouble, turn on the notification bell, and join the crew that witnesses the most daring, edge-of-your-seat aviation action on the planet. Comment below which moment made your jaw drop the hardest. We read every single one. Stay tuned, because in the world of extreme aviation, the next crazy moment is always just around the corner.